We have today a very important conference looking forward for energy policies for the European Union. And the first panels that we have had, was called Delivering on Renewable Energy Objectives. My partner in conversation today is Head of Unit Paula Abreau Marques, Chief Architect of the new approach and, well, Chief Implementer of the whole previous package. Paula, how do you estimate how we are doing on achieving the target for 2020?
We are on track. The EU as a whole is still on track to achieve the 2020 target of 20%. And we have several member states, 11 so far, who have already overachieved their national binding target for 2020. At the same time, we see that efforts have rather slowed down in some other member states, perhaps triggered by increase in energy demand, energy consumption. And we are in close touch with those member states in monitoring very closely the situation, trying to engage them in more domestic efforts and combine that eventually with cooperation mechanisms that are always also a possibility that member states have at hand in line with the provisions in the directive, notably to use statistical transfer. So we are helping member states in this process so to ensure that the 2020% targets will be fully achieved.
For next period, during this panel I mentioned that we have broadly on the track to achieve 20% in 2020, but it is 8% increase. For the next 10 years, it's, well, 12%, so you would say 150% increase. Where do you see the strong, assets that Union has, and where you would say, well, there could be new challenges that are coming in this process of achieving 32% target?
We have some drivers. First of all, the reduced cost of the technology that we have observed over the last years, both for solar and wind, help absolutely to increase the installed capacity and investments in this sector. So I think that's one important driver. The second important driver is also the political push, and we have seen this with the clean energy package that this outgoing commission has managed to put through and get through the co-legislators, and also we hear the headline objectives, and you heard the headline objectives of our future commission with the Green Deal. So I think there is this also political push and determination to move ahead. And perhaps also we have the support or the pressure, if I may say so, of the people in the street. We have the citizens, and this has also influenced very much the way the clean energy package ended up being adopted and the level of ambition that we have there. In terms of challenges, of course, we have challenges. To start with, we have received draft national and climate plans from the member states, which the Commission has analyzed, and we published our assessment and recommendation to the member states. The situation is that when you pull together the level of ambition that each and every member state intends to do for 2030, we put together all the shares, and we are not yet there. We are not yet at 32% at EU level. So it will be a challenge to get there. We are working hard with member states to help them review their plans and intentions in order to get to the minimum share of 32%. There are challenges. So far, we have done very well when it comes to electricity, when it comes to transport, and especially heating and cooling. We are far from reaping the potential for renewables in those sectors. So what would be a challenge is to get more renewables into this sector, so integrate renewables in other sectors than electricity, and also the integration, the massive integration of greater shares of renewables. If we think about 32% renewable energy share as a total, this means 50 to 55% renewables electricity. So it requires perhaps different methods and requires perhaps to look at issues like sector coupling to deal with the integration and also with the storage of this renewable electricity. So it's there are various challenges, but I think that the wind is in our favor.
Thank you, Paula. I really believe that what the Commissioner said, that this is next 10 years, our modernization of our society is crucial, and definitely renewable energy plays the biggest role in it. So all the success for you and your colleagues in steering this process. I know that not everything depends on you, but well, you have done well until now, and I trust that you and your colleague will deliver in the future. So thank you very much. My partner in this conversation have been Paula Abreau Marques, Head of Unit of European Commission.
Thank you very much.